This is how women fall in love, and this is how men fall in love. Two paths, two timelines, two hormonal systems engineered by evolution to create one outcome: bonding. Because for thousands of years, survival didn't depend on romance. It depended on partnership, on loyalty, on keeping two people together long enough to raise a child who would live long enough to repeat the cycle. So nature built a mechanism, quiet, invisible, biological, one that makes women fall in love during intimacy and men fall in love when they think about intimacy. Sounds strange, sounds unfair, but it was designed for one purpose: to keep the pair bonded long enough to keep the baby alive. And the deeper you look, the stranger it gets. Stage 1. Lust. According to anthropologist Helen Fisher, falling in love isn't one feeling. It's three biological phases, each controlled by different chemicals. Phase 1 begins with lust, and here the difference between men and women is sharp. For men, lust is driven by testosterone, a hormone that resets every 24 hours. Testosterone rises while they sleep and peaks shortly after waking. This is why mornings matter, why attraction feels like a daily cycle. For women, lust is tied to estrogen, and estrogen follows a 28-day rhythm. It rises slowly, peaks just before ovulation, the few days when pregnancy is most likely, and then drops sharply. So men experience desire every day. Women experience strongest desire every month. But here's the twist. Women don't become less sexual. They simply become more selective. A famous finding in 1972 explained why. The sex that invests more in reproduction becomes biologically more selective. For humans, that's women, because throughout history, the risks were higher. Unwanted pregnancy, childbirth complications, raising a baby alone, abandonment. So nature shaped women to be choosy, very choosy. Which is why modern data still reflects ancient instincts. On OkCupid.com, women rated most men as below average. Men rated most women as average. Men pursue, women filter. It's not personal, it's evolutionary math. But here's the question men always ask. How do you make a woman feel more drawn to you? Science has answers. Lust trigger number 1. Scent. Smell is the only sense that bypasses the brain's filters and goes straight into the emotional center. Not words, not looks, scent. To create attraction through scent, 2 rules matter. Apply fragrance to pulse points, but never overdo it. The scent should only be noticeable within 18 inches, the distance of intimacy. She must come close to smell it, and once she does, a reward loop forms. Closeness becomes comfort. Comfort becomes chemistry. Lust trigger number 2. Facial cues. In 2013, researchers from the University of New South Wales tested what beard length women find the most attractive. 5 options, 5 reactions. Clean-shaven, light stubble, heavy stubble, light beard, full beard. The winner? Heavy stubble. Masculine, mature, but not aggressive. The loser? Light stubble. Too awkward to signal strength, too short to signal maturity. Evolution loves signals. Heavy stubble sends the right one. Lust trigger number 3. Visual identity. Attraction is visual before it becomes emotional. A V-shaped torso, clear skin, healthy hair. These are ancient cues of vitality and strong genetics. And here's a surprising detail. Multiple studies show that women perceive men wearing red as more sexually desirable. Red signals power, dominance, status, not consciously, instinctively. But lust is only the first door. The deeper transformation begins in stage 2. Stage 2. Attraction. Attraction is the emotional storm of falling in love. Faster heartbeat, obsessive thinking, sleepless nights, loss of appetite, a rush of dopamine equal to cocaine. But what triggers attraction differs between men and women. Men fall for touch far more than women do. Women fall for time far more than men do. Studies show men desire physical touch, women desire quality time. But here's the twist. The love language we desire is often different from the love language we give. Men tend to give touch and acts of service. Women tend to give affection, emotional connection, and shared experiences. This reflects another psychological difference. Women think about their partner 54% of the time. Men think about theirs 44% of the time. But time alone doesn't guarantee bonding. Dr. John Gottman, the man who can predict divorce with 90% accuracy, found the secret ratio of stable love: 5 positive interactions for every 1 negative interaction. Why? Because of negativity bias. The brain remembers pain 3 to 5 times stronger than pleasure. So how do you create positive moments? You create a shared reality, inside jokes, private language, nicknames based on her behavior, not cliché words like babe. Inside jokes create an alliance, a psychological bubble where the two of you exist together and the world exists outside. Next is variable reward theory. The brain loves unpredictability. Not chaos, not inconsistency, just small surprises. A spontaneous date, an unexpected compliment, a shift in routine. The unknown triggers dopamine. Predictability kills desire. And of course, humor. Women want someone who can make them laugh. Men? We just want someone who laughs at our jokes. Attraction forms the bond, but attachment cements it. Stage 3. Attachment. Attachment is where love becomes stable, or dangerous. Every person has an attachment style shaped by childhood: secure, anxious, avoidant, fearful. But biology has its own rules, and often biology beats psychology. Enter the pursue-withdraw cycle. One partner pulls away, the other panics and pursues. The more one withdraws, the more the other chases. The more one chases, the more the other withdraws. It's a spiral, not a fight. And in this spiral, something predictable happens. Women tend to develop anxious attachment more often than men do. Why? Because in nature, when a male becomes distant, it often means he's preparing to leave. So women evolved a biological alarm system, an instinct that activates when the partner's attention drops. This aligns with a striking finding from 2025. Women fall in love harder and earlier than men do. But something strange happens later. Helen Fisher noticed a pattern. Most divorces occur at 4 years of marriage. Why 4? Because 4 years is the approximate time it takes for a child to become less dependent. Once survival no longer requires 2 parents, evolution releases the bond. And that brings us to the hidden stage, the 4th stage: disunity. The part of love no one wants to talk about, the biological off switch. When bonding is no longer essential for survival, the chemicals fade, the attachment loosens, the instinct to separate begins. Love doesn't always die, but the biology behind it changes. But here's the thing: evolution can be hacked. Old instincts can be rewritten with new knowledge. Modern psychology has identified the 3 forces that determine whether a relationship lasts or collapses. And if you want to know what they are, you already know where to go.